Today we are going to continue our series of the best anime from last decade. It is going to be the comedy genre for this video cause that is one of my favorite genre and we are going to roll with that. As per usual, I'm going to pick the best comedy anime of the year plus honorable mentions from each year in the 2010s era. So without further ado, Taku, smash my intro! To start the decade off, we have Alaka Under the Bridge as our honorable mention for the best comedy of 2010. This anime centers around the story of a rich businessman who hates debt. But one day he was saved by a homeless girl and he doesn't want to be in debt to her, so he insists on paying her back. The only thing she wants is a boyfriend, so the main protagonist ended becoming her boyfriend. Now, you might be wondering,
why Shaku? That doesn't sound like a comedy anime.
But wait until you see this scene.
こうか。そうです。じゃあニノさん立ちますよ。これがお姫様抱っこです。
I was almost fooled by the synopsis as well, but this is a top tier comedy of a rich guy giving up his life to do dumb with a bunch of really interesting people under the bridge. Fun fact, the author of the show also made Saint Young Man, aka What If Buddha and Jesus lives in current Tokyo. The winner goes to Baka to Test. Although this show has a really strong harem element, but the comedy is what makes this anime shines. Baka to Test is set in a unique high school where students are ranked based on their test score, A being the best class and F being the worst class. Our main protagonist is unsurprisingly in the F class, and this is going to be a story where the F class student continue to beat higher class rank student. This show has many comedy events that cracks you up and it felt so relatable to as a student, like the Striker Sigma V pencil. I low-key wish I had that. Maybe I would have done better in my multiple choice exam question. Also, this anime gave birth to the true gender pronouns Hideyoshi and the infamous Triple F Squad. If you are a student, you will love this anime. In the following year, we have Level E as our honorable mention. The plot centers around an alien who came to Earth due to boredom and baseball, and then he caused a series of troubles. The comedy element is quite similar to Gintama, and it serves as a great taster to decide whether or not to jump into the Gintama franchise. Fun fact, this series is created by Togashi Yoshihiro, the legend who made Hunter x Hunter. Nichijou is the unquestionable comedy of the year in 2011. The story is based on the comedic daily life of citizens living in a normal Japanese town. Most of the funny meme, gif and posts you saw online in the last decade probably arise from this show. It is a highly well-produced comedy anime by Kyoto Studio. It is a wholesome comedy show that guaranteed to cracks you up every single episode. And you can literally stream it today and it would be an instant mega hit. Axion Saga DT centers around the main protagonist getting isekai into a gaming world, and it talks about his journey of saving the princess while encountering a list of unexpected events. It is one of those shows that you either love it or hate it after watching the first episode. You can find some people laughing their ass off watching the show, while some people found it childish and unoriginal. Up next, we have Daily Life of High School Boy, aka one of my favorite comedy shows from the last decade. The story is extremely simple. We have 3 high school boys doing dumb shit. Nothing more, nothing less. Simplicity is king. If you don't like this show, then you wouldn't like anime comedy. If you haven't seen this show yet, just close this video and do yourself a justice to go and watch it and thank me later.
かけた？かけたら前に集めて。一応聞くけどさ、真面目に書いたよね。この場でチェックするわ。ほら見ろ！これだよ！頼むから真面目にやってくれよ！ほんと死ねよ！すぐ死ねよ！だってよ！ だ書くなよ。
2013 is one of the weakest years for the comedy genre, and the best comedy for me is Senyu, a parody story on the classic Japanese hero slash Yusha tale. It rips off all the hero JRPG game we know about. There is no OP main protagonist, in fact he is one of the weakest characters of the show. The contrast between expectation and reality is really fun. The interesting thing is, the show lasted about 4 minutes per episode, so it's a good anime to watch when you're waiting for your cup noodle. Have you ever wondered what happens when a virgin mangaka is surrounded by a bunch of pang fire assistants? Nope, it's not hentai. Instead, we have a slice of life comedy show where the main protagonist is just keep getting into trouble over panties. If you want to know more about a mangaka, then you're watching the wrong show. You probably learn more about it from my video than from this show. But you might learn a thing or two about panties. Who would have thought that we have 2 anime about mangaka slice of comedy life? Gekkan Shoujo Natsuki-kun is the same theme but gender flip. We have female as our main protagonist. We have shoujo manga instead of haru manga, but the core theme is still attached: comedy. Gekkan Shoujo is basically mangaka Santo assistant-san on steroid, with better quality of anime and more PG. Similar to 2013, 2015 is quite weak for the comedy genre. The best comedy show for me is Himoto Umaru-chan. Have you ever wondered what happens when you have a cute immortal who loves anime? Well, you better hope not to have one, and Umaru-chan can completely explain this. Umaru Donna is the epitome of never judging a book by its cover. She can be an excellent extrovert student at school, but deep down she is a degenerate lazy weeb who bosses her brother around. You probably have seen a lot of fun memes online about the show, and the show is pretty decent. Nothing mad, nothing crazy, just a well comedy show. In the following year, we came back with a banger. For our honorable mention, we have Psychic. The plot centers around a normal high school boy with psychic ability, but he doesn't want anyone to know that he has special ability. But he somehow always gets into situations where he has to use his psychic ability, hence it led to a series of funny gags and skits. If you are looking for an original comedy show, then look no further. I am 120% recommend this show. You will not regret this decision. And the best comedy for 2016 goes to Berserk, the infamous masterpiece. Psych! For those who doesn't get this joke, don't watch this show. It will spare you some brain cell. The only comedy element of this show is how terrible the CGI is. We are laughing at the show, not with the show. Our actual winner goes to Konosuba. This is by far the best isekai parody I have ever saw. No cap. We have typical main protagonist getting isekai by pissing himself. Yep, you heard me right. He died while pissing himself. Kazuma's party consists of nothing but trash. We have useless goddess Aqua, one-hit wonder Lolly, 100% misrate tank, and a pervy weak main protagonist. And you somehow expect this squad to beat the Demon King squad. And somehow they did. I don't know how, but it worked, and their journey is nothing but pure comedy. If you have a slight interest in isekai or game and comedy show, then Konosuba will never let you down.
それじゃあ俺と勝負するか ?3 回じゃんけんして一度でもお前が勝ったら俺が荷台に移ってやるよ。俺じゃんけんで負けたことねえから。
おかしいわおかしいわよ。ずるしたわね。お願いもう一回。ブレッシング。
あーこいつ来たね。魔法で運上げやがった。
さあ行くわよ。じゃんけんぽん。なんでよ。
俺ガキの頃からじゃんけんで負けたことないんだよな。
そんなのチートよ。チート能力じゃない。
てめえこのクソビッチが。
俺の特殊能力はじゃんけんに勝てる能力ってか。お前バカか。こんなもんでどうやってモンスターと渡り合いって。お前を返品して特殊能力でももらえるものならとっとと返品してやるところだ。
Gamers is one of those shows that has awful character design compared to the light novel and manga, especially Tasuku. With that being said, the comedy is still really solid. In fact, it actually made me overlook the bad animation. This series is essentially about a group of high school friends having misunderstanding about each other and creating a huge mess. I even made a video about it last year. If you're into school drama and over convoluted relationship, then Gamers would be a top comedy choice. What happens when you hear Dragon plus Mei? You would think that is silly. What happens when you hear Yuli plus different race from different world? That's a recipe for disaster. So what happens when you combine both of them? You get silly comedy. Kobayashi Sanchi no Maid Dragon talks about a bunch of female dragons chilling with the main female protagonist. It is one of the best comedy shows from Kyoto Anime Studio in the recent year. It contributed a huge amount of funny memes in the community. Maid Dragon is a really entertaining show with top tier animation plus fire dragon waifus with a slice of life comedy touch. Hinamatsuri centers around the comedic daily life between a top-class Yakuza member looking after a girl who has psychic ability that she cannot control, which leads to a series of comedic events. Hinamatsuri is one of those anime that exemplify comedy, and it makes you so addicted to it that you would binge it in one go. The plot talks about a bunch of uni students drinking irresponsibly in a diving club. What happens when you get drunk? You do dumb and that's exactly what happened in Grand Blue. This show will hit your sweet spot perfectly. Once again, top class comedy. It's hard for me to say this, but Asobi Asobase is by far the best comedy in 2018. In fact, I made a video on why I think it deserves the comedy of the year. The story is very simple. It's about 3 high school girls chilling together and doing stupid things. The contrast between the action and character design is what makes this show so entertaining. For me, this is what school life funny gag meant to be. Comedy at its finest form.
ちょっといろいろ動揺しちゃったせいで右半分失敗しちゃったじゃん。トイレで直そう。
いやこっそり会いに来
ごめんね。いい女はいろんな顔を待ってるな。
To finish the decade off, we have Wasteful Days of High School Girl as our honorable mention. It is essentially similar to Asobi Asobase, but a bit watered down with a larger character base. But that is what sets it apart from Asobi Asobase, the character dynamic. Every character is unique in its own way, and that's what makes their interactions so entertaining. Finally, to conclude the 2010s off, we have Kaguya-sama, Love is War, which centers around 2 geniuses trying to make each other fall in love and make each other confess first. It created 2 major dance clips that blew up the entire anime community, and it contributed a whole year's worth of supply of comedy to the community. It is one of the best wholesome funny anime that you can watch it with whoever. It's as comedy as it gets. And we are done. Looking back, the worst year for the comedy genre has to be 2013, and the best year would be 2018. If I were to recommend top 5 comedy shows from the list to binge on, it would be Nikuchujo, Daily Lives of High School Boys, Saki, Asobi Asobase, and Kaguya-sama. Smash the like button to support the series and comment down below on which genre I should do next. You weebs stay safe and stay blessed. I'm out.